This is Jerry Lee Medeiros with Three Sisters Broom Shop in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. And today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the dye process of dyeing broomcorn and what I can do and what I can't do and where the limitations lie. Last week I posted a paper sheet on the Three Sisters Facebook page that had different colors, and it was a sheet that I pulled off a friend of mine's page that she had posted for it was describing moods, but I took that part off because I just found the color selection really gorgeous, and sometimes people struggle with matching colors in different areas, and while I don't, I really liked the chart, so I posted it, and I think I may have created a little bit of confusion, so I want to clear it up. You cannot make pastels in broomcorn, and here's why. You can't dye them, and I'm going to explain why. Broomcorn, this is natural broomcorn, and you can see here, this is green, and here it's not. And this is from the very same bale. I bring my broomcorn in bales, and it can be from the very same bundle. When you get a bundle, they're in about 6 pounds of broomcorn, and this is, of course, much, much less. This is probably 6 ounces of broomcorn or so, 6 or 7 ounces, if that. So I just wanted to pull some natural so that you could see. Why are these two different colors? It has to do maybe with the broomcorn itself. It has to do when it's harvested. It's got to do with a lot of different factors, and I'll be honest, I don't know what all those are. I just know that this is how I get my broomcorn, and it can be these two different colors. To me, I dye almost everything. So this part is just something that I deal with, and I'll explain why in a minute. But this is what natural hurl, H-U-R-L, looks like. It's processed. It doesn't have the seeds on it. It's also cut to a uniform length. And this is what I work with. So in the sheet that I showed, it had a bunch of pastels. And you'll notice I don't work with pastels. None of these are pastel. None of the work that I do is pastel. And where's the broom that I just did? Hang on. Also not pastel. As you know, I made a lot of rainbows. If you're on my page at all, you know that I was making a lot of rainbows because I was calling in the sun, because we haven't had it in months. And while we did get a full day of sun yesterday, we have snow today, so I've already been out shoveling. Where do I get my pastels in what I do? In the twine. That's not even pastel. That's really great. But here's more of a pastel. And I know it doesn't look like it there, but it is really a robin egg blue. But I have 64 different colors of twine that I match with the different colors of what I dye. When I dye, I do it in the summer. My dye season starts in May, and it's because I use the sun to dry the broomcorn. I don't have big racks. There's some places that do have really big racks. The college, I think it's Berea in Kentucky, I think is how you pronounce that, has really large racks. I believe they do everything in the basement, but I'm not sure. I haven't been there yet, although I'm trying. However, I depend on solar power to dry all my broomcorn. So when I dye my broomcorn, I'm using a non-toxic dye. The reason I do that is because I am very careful about the watershed. I'm very pro-Mother Earth, if you will. And I want to use a non-toxic dye because I don't want to affect wildlife. I don't want to affect humans. I don't want to affect the soil. I want to be as safe as possible. So that's what I do. When I dye broomcorn, this is what I'm using. And this is why I can't get pastels. It's not white. It takes heat. It takes about a half hour of boiling water time, in my experience, to get the dye to saturate the broomcorn. The broomcorn has a waxy coating. It's a lot like kale. And kale has a waxy coating that you have to break through. And chefs will massage that to get it to break down. They'll massage it with a little bit of salt, or they'll just massage it in their hands. But in broomcorn, you can't really do that. So you cook it to get the colors of dye into the broomcorn. And this is 6 different batches. These I did, all of these have natural tipped because I chose to do that. So I put it in the pot like that. But anyway, you have to cook broomcorn for a good while. You can dye reed in pastels because it's a natural color. It's like almost white, and it doesn't have the same properties of broomcorn. But you cannot get pastel colors in broomcorn because you have to cook the dye. I've never seen pastels in broomcorn. If they're out there, I'd love to see it. But I've never seen them. The dye that I use is, like I said, it's non-toxic, and it does have to be heated. But the times that I've tried to get a lighter color in the broomcorn, what happens is it gets really splotchy, and it looks like kind of sick, really. It looks like it has the measles or something. If you don't cook it all the way through and get it through all of the bits of the broomcorn, it leaves patches of weirdness, and it's not an attractive look. So I don't use it. And that's what happens when you try to go light or to dye less or to use less dye to get a lighter color. They just don't exist. That's why my brooms are all very colorful. I happen to like a lot of color, but also it's what I need to use because I can't do it any other way due to the nature, let me say that a little slower, due to the nature of the broomcorn and the way that you have to dye it and the fact that it's a heat dye. You do have to boil the broomcorn to get it to open up, to get the fibers to open up to accept the color. So the way that I offset that is with different colors of twine. And like I've mentioned, I do have 64 different colors. I have 2 large rolling carts. Here's a nice pastel. This is what I call pistachio. Some call it light sage, but it's a very nice color. It's a very nice light mint green. And most of the colors that I use are bright. So that's why you don't see pastel colored brooms. And I just wanted to explain that to you so that you understood the dye process a little bit better. Thank you, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. And I'll see you online. Bye.